just keep heading northwest of Dajra until we pick something up. This might be an excellent spot for an outpost. Just leave me here with a bowl full of chunks and we're good.
was a leap of faith!
Plenty of places to be hiding outside of Dazra. Let's hope Vaeric's not too far. Oh, this whole thing? Well, truth is, I made a deal with Vaeric a while back. The guy isn't exactly keen on being cooped up in Dazra. Wants to see what the galaxy has to offer. So I told him when he's ready, pick a safe spot somewhere outside of Dazra, and I'll go get him. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I've got a hunch. If he's run off, wouldn't you take the only thing that could help get you off this planet? Yeah, Vaeric's a bit of a free thinker. Poor kid appealed to dear old dad on a few occasions, but Victor's having none of it. Hey, no way I'm running the risk of getting caught smuggling Vaeric Veth'aal off-world. The moment anyone catches wind of that, I can kiss my life goodbye. Let's hear him. I wish I knew, but we never discussed it. If I had to guess, we aren't just gonna find him wandering around. He's probably holed up somewhere out of sight, or far enough from Dazra no one would think to look. Friend's a strong word. More like friendly acquaintances. Guess we both felt the Herald's Rest was one of the few places that made us feel like real people. Couple of drinks and everyone's your friend in that moment. He's a good enough guy, I suppose. A little self-absorbed, spoiled. Growing up in a noble house probably does that to you. A little naive, too. He's got this friend, Bianca. She's crazy about him. But the guy's oblivious. And his friend Eggy? Guy needs to lay off the Koza. But I heard Vaeric let him in on his tab. That's gonna work out well. Blames his dad for everything, though, and I get it. Victor Veth'aal is not an easy man. He's just used to getting his way and the world revolving around him. When you're raised to be elder, that's bound to bring you all sorts of extra attention. So sometimes when hanging around with us peons, he forgets we have our own thoughts and opinions. Well, it's Victor we're talking about, so it wouldn't surprise me. But Vaeric can't see how much effort Victor puts into making sure his son has all the tools he needs to take over. He'll go on these rants of Victor drilling him on scenarios. Stuff makes my brain hurt. But Vaeric talks about it like child's play. Hey, whatever you want. I've only had a few run-ins with Victor for security purposes, and he's all in. The man embodies House Veth'aal. He could probably recite Janan's teachings word for word, and he runs the Ministry of State without missing a beat. Strict, demanding, and always watching. The guy's good at his job, but when it comes to personality, I couldn't tell you. Whoever he is, he keeps it close to the chest. If you discover some new creatures, name one after me. That'll be my legacy. Let's get this over with.
Are you prepared to die?
No, you don't. I don't see him. I generally don't mess with alien flora, but if I'm hungry enough, I'll take a nibble. That's gonna leave a mark. Things are getting hot. I'm hit. Looks like a bunch of life on this planet. Shame if we put that around.
temporary encampment, but not an uneventful stay for the occupant.
It's eating a lot. Sounds like pick your nose.
Let us see what was
Just
being protected.
someone else's nose. Winner takes all this stiff race, is it not? I could have done without that. All my years and all the planets I've been on. Never gonna get used to those things. Terror, what? I think I'll pass. At least I don't see a body around here, so I hope that means Vaeric's alive. You find anything? Injured? Hope he doesn't bleed out by the time we find him. Well, what's next? Vaeric must have fled in a hurry since his tracker's still here. So guess the rest is up to us. You got it. If he's bleeding, there's bound to be something. Let's head back down and see what we can find. And by we, I mean you. There's gotta be something we can use to find him. See any settlers, best to just keep moving, or shoot them. One or the other.
That's far enough, strangers. You want to tell me what you're doing on my property uninvited? Through here. You realize you're in the middle of nowhere. I hate to inform you, but you're wasting your time. The only people here are my partner Zen and our daughter Mila. No one comes around here. We're isolated, and that's the way we like it. All right, fine.
Irina, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Zen, yes, I know quite well. Never mind my partner, they're just overly cautious. As I said, we're isolated out here. We keep to ourselves. But we did aid an injured young man a few days ago.
That's gotta be Vaeric.
It's too coincidental. It must have been him. We sent him north. There's a long-abandoned growth farm we felt he could make use of. He claimed he lost everything in the incident that swallowed half of Dazra. He wanted to start a new life. We even gave him 2 of our own growths to get started. Great Serpent, forgive my foolishness, but I trusted him instantly. I saw so much of our own son gas in him that I didn't doubt nor question. I allowed him his privacy in what I thought was a time of great need and grief. It's only now that you've come looking for him that I've made the connection. You're welcome, and safe travels. If you find him, give him our regards.
Let's just find out what we need and leave these people be.
Fair journey, outsiders. Serpent, watch over you.
Farewell.
I bet every plant in this area tastes like crap. And I'm gonna eat it anyway.
speaking with the nearby humans.
Is there a... lock you cannot defeat?
Vaeric's been busy if he got this much done. Nothing going on out here. How about you? Find anything? Sounds like it's a waiting game then.
It seems I have uninvited guests. You want to explain yourselves?
Whoa, hey, it's me. Dang. Put the gun down already.
It's not you I'm concerned about. It's your friends.
Rightfully so.
I wish I could say I was pleased to meet you, but something tells me this isn't a social call. Please, if you're here on my father's orders, allow me to plead my case. I'm glad someone does for once. I am not sure how familiar you are with our culture, but all I've ever wanted was the right to choose. I was born House Veth'aal. I was raised to inherit the role of Elder, to run the Ministry of State, to worship the Great Serpent. But I want none of it.
With House Veth'aal? Easier said than done.
This is true. House Beth'aal and the Ministry of State are known to be the most devout and punitive of the houses. It would not be easy to leave without extreme consequences, as you now know.
It's never mattered how much I tried to reason with him. My father simply would not let me go. His pride and the fear of what it would mean for House Veth'aal is all he cares about. Shame, embarrassment, fuel for the other houses to ridicule my father. I don't want any of that for him, but he left me no choice. If he would have listened just once, maybe I could have left on good terms with my father's blessing. Control the narrative, as they like to say. That's the issue. As far as my father's concerned, he's the most supportive parent out there. Giving me all the tools and teachings I need to inherit House Veth'aal and assume the reins of the Ministry of State. I'm the ungrateful one. I'm the problem. Not him. All I want is to make my own life. Something Tane understood and was willing to help me with.
The credits help too, but yeah. We talked about this briefly a while back already, but there's a bit more to it. I lost my ship to the incident, so I didn't want Vaeric running off thinking I could just grab him and go. I was also out all the credits he was gonna pay me. That's where you came in. I figured, why not two for the price of one?
So, now you know my true intentions for leaving, and given the circumstances, I may be here for some time. My hope now is to make the best of it here. I suppose I owe you that much. The truth is, the Scaled Citadel was the last straw. My people are so blinded by faith and politics, they don't see how it's destroying us. Anasko Varun eliminated half our population in the blink of an eye. My sister Vashti among them. I could no longer live in a society that won't put its people first. That would destroy itself in the name of a god that has done nothing for us. I understand that some people need faith as guidance, But Varun's society takes it too far. I hope you can see why I want to walk away from all this. To start my own life. I ask that you give me that chance. I pray I'm not boring you. Anything. Name it. My ring. Vashti gave it to me. It's all I have left of her since the cataclysm. The disaster took every physical reminder of her except for this ring. Just wiped her from existence. True. It's as if she's looking out for me. One last time. Take it. I'll find solace in the fact that the ring will remain with my family. And now I hope we are done here. Thank you for seeing reason. I owe you both my life and freedom.
Now that's over with. I'm gonna hang back here, talk to Vaeric a bit. Besides, I don't want to be around when you break the news to Victor. Do me a favor and find me at the Herald's Rest when you're done.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no?
Remember to find me at the Herald's Rest once you finish your business.
I have literally no experience being a growth farmer, but I'm going to try my best. For now. My father won't risk additional resources to confirm my death. That would only reflect poorly on him. Besides, this is just a stepping stone. My ultimate goal is to leave Varunkai behind. This farm will allow me to prove to myself that I can make it out there. I was on my way to see my father at the Halls of Obedience when it happened. I had just crossed Jinan Plaza when I saw the light pulse from the Citadel, and the sound felt like it went right through me. I couldn't help but fixate on the Citadel itself, surrounded by that strange energy. It didn't even dawn on me until later. Just how heavy the losses would be. Vashti knew my heart and mind well. She would understand. I have no doubt. Our father is what would bother her the most. She would have made a far better elder than I, if only he would have listened. But the man refuses to see anyone's truth but his own.
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
If you are in need of supplies, I suggest speaking with the nearby humans.
I always enjoy these moments. You know me too well. Here, this is for you. I have never been one to shy away from shouldering my share of a heavy load. Until our next talk.
Great up and keep you.
Let us speak. You're back. What news do you bring?
What have you done? Vaeric.
This blood is on your hands, Victor. I hope you remember this. I have not overlooked your involvement in this.
No, it was Vaeric's choice. He knew the consequences.
You were his father. You were supposed to protect him. You think you are doing what is right out of some blind dedication, but you are destroying this house. You already lost one child. You had to murder the other.
Victoria!
I will not hear any more of this. It is done. Leave us.
Oh, I am leaving to mourn my nephew whose memory you disgrace with your very presence.
Victoria!
Leave her be, Luther. The Great Serpent will guide her. She will understand in time and emerge stronger for it. Then I can appreciate a tool that does not question. Ultimately, I care nothing for what you think. Now, only one matter remains to discuss. Did you find anyone who aided my son in his treachery? Good. I also have heard nothing of my son's disappearance, so I appreciate your discretion in this matter. You restored order to this house, and have my gratitude. Here, the access code that Ekris needs to connect to the power grid. Now go. I have much to arrange.
First Vashti, now Vaeric. Victor may not realize it now, but he will regret losing his son. Until next time.
Go. We have kept Ekris waiting long enough. House Veth'aal will thrive for centuries to come. I will see to it. There are many of noble blood far more worthy than my own son who would gladly take on the mantle. I was at the Hall of Obedience, discussing matters that do not concern you when I first saw it. A strange light emanating from the Scale Citadel. It was but a moment later, and light filled the entire room, followed by an indescribable sound, and then silence. Divina?
If only you had allowed Vaeric to live. I remember the light and a horrible sound. But most of all, I remember Victor's face when he rushed outside to find us. He kept saying it was gone. Disappeared. I'll never forget the moment he took us into the halls of obedience to see the devastation that surrounded the Scaled Citadel. The heartbreak and horror we felt knowing whatever took Dazra took our house and family with it. I mostly looked after the house members, trying to take a more active role in the lives of our people. Victor's attention is more administrative-focused, so he has little time to deal with personal grievances or requests. Since the destruction, I did all I could to help ease our family's grief. But once Vaeric left, I turned my focus completely to Victor. Until next time.
Be mindful of our elder. The incident weighs heavily on his mind.
You do not have approval to trade with me.
Do not understand. I saw a Nazco, took measure of his burdens.
What you are describing is a dream, nothing more.
Not a dream. A message from the great serpent himself.
With all due respect to your craft, dear sister, now is not the time for incense and ash leaves. Or do you not see the depth of the crater before you?
On the contrary, brother. I see it for what it truly is. And if we ignore this vision, Anasco will be lost to us forever.
Enough with the proselytizing. The diviner has returned. Did Victor finally relinquish the access code? Excellent. We'll finally have the resources to fully charge the morning device. Now, let's hope Houses Kadik and Dul'kehf are as forthcoming.
Politics can wait. Every moment we delay, Anasco descends further into the void.
For the last time, faith will not remove the barrier. Science will.
It is the hubris of science that failed you in this moment. We reached out to the Great Serpent. This is his reply.
You claim he has forsaken us?
I do no such thing. The Great Serpent's reply is not an answer, but a question. Are we worthy of his grace? Until that is proven, your works will not succeed.
It sounds like you agree with me.
And yet, only one is the foundation for the other. But the proof is not in our words. It is in the vision. Anasco's presence still persists in this world, and he seeks our aid.
Fine. I feel like I've lived this argument 1,000 times, and the only way to move past it is to concede to its nonsense. Diviner, speak to my sister. Agree to her fool's errand so that we may continue the work of saving this city.
I have seen visions of Anasco, searching for one bold enough to enter the heart of the vortex. And now that you are here, I know your arrival was no accident, but rather providence. The Great Serpent has guided you here. From the moment you found the Oracle to the words I speak to you now. Well put. The Great Serpent's works are imperceptible, even to heralds like myself. But rest assured, all will be revealed when you journey north. At the edge of the crater, you will find a cave carved by the anomaly. There, you will make contact with Anasco Varun.
It would be unwise to ignore the Herald's counsel.
The Great Serpent has blessed me with the sight, and I have seen events there that are only now beginning to take shape. It is as the Great Serpent foretold. In my visions, I witnessed two futures. In the first, you breached the scaled citadel, but found Anasco had sunk too far into the void. And in time, all of Dazra was consumed along with him. The anomaly spread, absorbing all in its path. The crater you see now is nothing compared to the destruction looming ahead. Indeed. But there is another path. In the second future, I saw you make contact with Anasco, entering a cave through a formless wall. At its terminus was a gate, a path into the realm where our speaker resides. You stepped into this void, and in that moment, something changed. The false future, rewritten.
Roughly speaking, it could be that entering the vortex directly would allow you to speak with him. And while my readings do not show any anomalous activity, I admit there's a lot of interference. Still, that only emphasizes the potential danger involved here. I cannot approve of such an excursion on a minute chance Anasco is present. The closer one ventures to the heart of the anomaly, the closer they are to the phantoms and horrors that lie within. Moreover, if this cave was cut open by the calamity itself, then it is an unnatural formation and highly unstable. Not in the way you and I speak, but in crude terms, yes, provided you manage to maintain your own sanity through the process. But this is all purely theoretical. No one has ever entered the vortex and come back. I am no heretic, but to risk so much on a vision, it is a leap of faith I cannot condone. I will not stand in your way, however, as Inaza has stood in ours.
You may not realize it now, dear brother, but our goals are one and the same. It was a winding cave, scattered with walls of dark energy. At the end, a rip in the fabric of reality. In my vision, I saw you step forward, slowly, following the sound of Anasco's voice. I could hear him calling to you in the distance. His words were jumbled, but as you drew closer, they started to assemble. I was thrust out of the vision before I could see the end. No, it was born from the incident itself, but I believe it is there. And what is faith but to give form to the formless? As a herald, it is my duty to make real what is unseen. Then you must embark to the northern edge of the crater. You will find an entrance there, one that has no form. Step through it, find Anasco, and complete the vision. Only then will his voice be heard.
much to live for now.
First the cataclysm, now this. There's too much going on right now. The accident has strained our supply chain on a number of fronts. Envoy Kadik argues it's a problem of manpower. Warden Veth'aal says it's a problem of resources. I had hoped we would have solved the supply issue by now, but there's been a complication. I'll try to keep that in mind. I'm sorry if I seem a bit flustered. Things have been chaotic since the cataclysm, and now word of missing supplies. But that doesn't excuse my rudeness. Let me at least introduce myself. My name is Kezrani Dul'kehf. I work as an executor for House Dul'kehf. Members of House Dul'kehf who handle trade in and out of Dazra. We are part of the Ministry of Commerce, but our building was lost in the Cataclysm. Likewise. And I'm well aware of who you are. Word of the first convert in generations is on everyone's lips these days. But I'm sure you are busy getting adjusted to life here. Is there anything I can help you with? Trouble only begins to describe it. It's about the supply shortage. There may be a reason for it beyond the cataclysm itself. A week ago, my cousin Ukaru came to my office concerned about a series of lost shipments. He was certain someone was using the tragedy as cover to steal supplies and route them to our enemies. I'm not sure. The message was vague, and there are many who would want to do us harm. Yes, but given the seriousness of the accusation, the proof must be irrefutable. So I told my cousin to return with more evidence, and when I didn't hear back, I assumed that was the end of it. But this morning, I received a slate from a courier. It was from Ukaru. It was worrying, to say the least. Yes, he was trying to leave a trail, it seems, in case something happened. The contents were cryptic. He mentions a possible conspiracy and being followed and, well, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to panic. He hasn't shown up to work in days, and the timing of all this feels suspicious.
A sudden absence would give credence to the idea he was followed.
Agreed. Ukaru was extremely punctual. An absence like this is very unlike him. But if he is in danger, I don't know if it's safe for me to investigate. I need someone disconnected from the noble houses. The slate Ukaru sent via courier is light on details, but he did say that one of the noble houses may be involved, which, if true, would emphasize the need for discretion and an outside party. Vital supplies for the city, which given the cataclysm is a wide breadth of things. Construction materials, medical kits, food. The loss of all this is a great cause for concern, given the state of the city. I'm not sure that's wise, given Ukaru's warnings. If what he says is true, a watchful eye is being kept on House Dul'kehf. They may blame him or me for the supplies going missing. And if I investigate this, I could be accused of wiping records or tampering with evidence. An independent investigator, unaffiliated with the houses, is what we need here. Ukaru's workstation is likely your best bet. He's been working in the rehabilitation unit on the 3rd floor of the Halls of Healing. If you run into any issues with access, hand this slate to my fellow executors. Once you locate him, report back to me. I've got a meeting at House Kadik later, but I shouldn't be hard to track down. Hopefully you'll find my cousin alive and safe. We'll need to rely on others at times, but I'd like to keep this investigation mostly between us. That is what I suggested to Ukaru originally when I asked him to dig further. It is not until his disappearance that I have begun to suspect something more sinister. But I cannot imagine that anyone with access to said shipments would commit such heresy. To forsake one's duty for profit is an affront to House Va'ruun. Before the Cataclysm, city operations were comprised of 3 branches, run by each of the noble houses: House Kadik, Veth'aal, and Dul'kehf. And while the buildings themselves are gone, the staff remains. Collectively, we are still trying to serve the needs of Dazra and its citizens. That has become exceedingly difficult in the wake of all that's happened, but we are still duty-bound. Executors at House Dul'kehf focus mostly on trade. While we take pride in being self-sufficient, there are supplies that are necessary from the outside world for Dazra to function. Commerce agents work with smugglers to organize drop-offs, trade routes, and ensure our efforts remain discreet. They handle all matters concerning the Va'ruun populace. They ensured all citizens were productive, fed, and had work, and that said work was in service to House Va'ruun. They mostly deal with matters regarding the settled systems. Their primary focus is diplomacy, gathering information, and converting unbelievers to the true path. Of course. Very well. What would you like to know? Of course. We are standing near the Halls of Obedience, a former courthouse. Criminals would be judged and sentenced there in more peaceful times. At the moment, it remains unoccupied. There is no time for trials. Sentences are carried out at the discretion of security. Myself and some others were having dinner at the meat house. From our vantage point, we couldn't see what was happening outside the scaled citadel, but I could hear the blast searing into my skull. I remember falling from my chair, trying to get my bearings in this period of eerie silence, and then I heard the screams. He's a good man. A little awkward, yes, but who isn't? As executors tend to be, he is also meticulous and detailed. Given the incident, a lost shipment here and there is almost a given. But I also trust my cousin's record keeping. It's hard to imagine he made a mistake. Thank you for looking into this for me.
Great Serpent will deliver us from this.
It has been quite a challenge to keep all of the records in order.
Apologies. My mind is elsewhere.
Listen, I'm sorry, but I cannot just give you supplies. We are stretched razor thin as it is.
Are a herald, are you not? Is it not your job to help those in need? Why will you not help my family, my children?
We have examined your children and found that they were not in immediate need of treatment. Other patients are in more dire circumstances and require assistance.
So you will not help my children unless they are dying? This is preposterous! They are sick and suffering!
I do not like it any more than you do, but that is exactly what I am saying. Your children will be fine if the Great Serpent wills it.
You! Damn you! Damn you all! Diviner?
Diviner?
Serpent's Grace, are you a new volunteer? I was told you'd be coming yesterday. Or was it today? By Jinan. What day even is it? Already? By the herald, you're right. Which means time is at a premium. My name is Vasilis. I am a herald's assistant. Or I was, until the cataclysm took out much of the city and half of the people with it. Now I'm part healer, caretaker, warrior. The list goes on and on. Much of the city is just gone, as well as much of our staff and facilities. So we've all been rushed into larger roles with inferior tools. We're stretched thin and wound tight. I feel like the skin on a balloon. I am hoping you can help let the air out. There's a lot of work. I am still wrapping my head around the scope. You don't need Jinan's sight to see things are bad. No. Bad is the wrong word. What happened here was tectonic. And while the wounded are being tended to, I'm most concerned with those in the city who haven't sought help. What we need is for people to check in on the elderly and the infirm. They lead more sedentary lives, which means they are more likely to be stuck in their homes in need of help, but having no way to get it. Thank you. There are many in need. But I would like you to start with Reigen Ueda. His home is not too far from here.
near the Halls of Obedience. I need two things. One, see if he's okay, and two, make sure he's taking his medicine. Plus, it will be good for him to see a friendly face, to give his spirits a lift. About that. So, I was on the fast track to be a herald once upon a time. Emphasis on the was. Turns out I'm a bit squeamish when it comes to blood and viscera. So for now, if you're hurt, talk to Hantan Irara. She's far more qualified. That's not to say I won't be capable someday. It's my dream, after all, to become a herald. But one cannot serve the house without first carving the dagger. I was on my way to the Scaled Citadel when I saw a bird in flight pass overhead. It inspired me to write a hymn, so I stopped in my tracks to reach for my slate. I had barely started typing when I noticed the ground spilling at the edge of my feet. I looked down, then up, to see a vast crater of nothing before me, and fell to my knees. I can say for certain I was there, at the very line between life and death. But I never witnessed the Vortex perform its terrible works of death and devastation. Somehow, that troubles me more. In the time since, I've wondered why I was spared, when so many were lost. Perhaps it is the will of the Great Serpent that I be here to help those in need. Under normal circumstances? Yes. Under these circumstances, the concept of overworked doesn't exist. It's to help with his memory. It's a bit scattered already, and he has trouble remembering where he left things. I've heard stories that he's taken to hoarding. That doesn't sound good, but maybe it'll help him keep his mind busy. Just trying to think of the bright side, sort as that may be around here. He's long in the tooth and a tad absent-minded. So, don't worry about distracting him. He'll do that all on his own. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Have all the
Need
supplies
help?
been inventoried?
You and everyone else.
Yes, I've completed that now. I fear to ask, but how dire are our circumstances?
Do not worry so much. Do you not believe that the Great Serpent
Oh, it's you. Let me make one thing very clear. You will receive no preferential treatment. No free treatments, no free supplies. We barely have enough as it is. Good. Please understand, I have not been myself lately. You found me at a bad moment. The stress of everything is becoming overwhelming, but that is no excuse to act like I just did. I apologize. I appreciate that. Now, may I help you with something? Let me see what I am dealing with. This is not going to be easy to treat. It will take a few stitches, but you will be back to normal soon. All done. You might have some soreness for a few days, but that is normal. Let me examine you. Nothing is wrong with you. Please, only purchase what you need. Exhausted, drained, hopeless. I am not sure what brought this disaster upon us, whether it was the Great Serpent's wrath, or a horrible accident, or something else. But what I do know is that these people who are suffering, they did not deserve any of this. I do not believe your optimism is warranted, frankly, but I will admit it is a nice change of pace. I hope you are right. But for now, it is hard for me to believe that we will ever crawl out of this hole. I had little choice in the matter, as everyone in my family has been in this profession. As soon as I came of working age, my father would set me beside him and have me aid his procedures. I am unsure. I think about that at times. Did I become a healer just to appease my father? Should I have pushed back and traveled another path in life? Well, I must stop ruminating. This type of talk is inappropriate around patients. If you'll excuse me then. What is it?
The Ministry of State executed Vaeric Veth'aal as a traitor. We must all remember our duty to root out heresy, even now.
I'm sorry, but this wing of the hospital is under investigation. You'll have to leave. Even with the cataclysm, this is highly irregular. But not surprising. Kisrani is obsessed with transparency and often seeks independent help. I find this tendency unwise.
And by unwise, he means a complete disregard for operational security, rules, and regulations.
Possibly. And yet, despite what I said, and unsaid, she persists in doing so. So, we must come to a compromise.
A good compromise leaves everyone unhappy. This one was particularly miserable.
I will give you the keycard to Ukaru's computer. You will be able to access documents and correspondence for the past month. Any further access will require admin privileges, which I am not willing to grant. I apologize, but you are only given access to view the computer's records. Admin privileges are restricted to House officials only. The cataclysm has made things difficult. True. Although Kisrani did not request admin access for you, I would expect her to, if it's required for her investigation. I'm sorry, but regardless of the situation, we do not break protocol. We enforce it. I am sorry, but I cannot grant you that level of access. You'll have to make do. Unfortunately, rather than use the proper channels, he chose to start his own investigation.
A very unfortunate choice.
I will not pretend to know the particulars of this case. I will say this. We are House Dul'kehf. We have a reputation. We are professional. We are exacting.
We don't make mistakes.
Precisely. Ukaru hasn't logged into his station for some time. I've had to process several write-ups documenting his absence.
Dereliction of duty, failure to serve, fireable offenses all around.
We've also had to shift resources and people to make up for his absence. Suffice to say, it has made navigating this current situation more difficult. It is highly unusual for anyone to display such disobedience, especially now. Such actions are tantamount to heresy. Loss of employment is the most likely outcome.
A beheading isn't off the table.
It would be done humanely, of course. Several. The halls of healing are extremely busy. We can't keep track of every individual that passes through. In particular, the patients. We had to usher one out of here just now, who claimed to have a crippling headache.
Given the patient himself was a headache, it's likely genetic.
Admin privileges would allow you to view the access logs, however, that track the last 3 users to sign in. Now, to get back to these spreadsheets. A hospital is not an ideal location to execute trades, especially given the needs of the medical staff.
Regardless of who survived the incident, the work must go on. All must serve. Access is provided to and by executors of House Dul'kehf. This unit reminds you to be mindful of your position.
Trade is vital now more than ever. Let me know if you have any further questions.
If you require aid, Anton Irara at the Halls of Healing may be able to assist you, if she can spare the supplies.
I never had the patience for computer systems.
What do you want?
Victor Veth'aal executed his own son for heresy.
Great Serpent guide you.
Now, where did I put it? Serpent's tongue. I'm getting tied up with my own system. It says here, senbei. Rice crackers. Did I mean a crack in the wall? Cracking a code? Tough nut to crack? Oh, hello. Have we met before? Oh, well, in that case, it's nice to meet you. And I apologize for the mess. I've been trying to keep everything here sorted, based on a personal system. The problem is that it's all gotten to be too much. And I can't find my things. Oh, that would be grand. This seems more like a two-person job. With my system and your gusto, we'll find exactly what I'm looking for. Whatever it was. Well, my keycard for one, socks for another, and one more thing. Something important, I think. Oh, several things. I just don't recall what they are. Maybe it was for Dora? I'm sorry. I'm so forgetful these days. Not my socks, but socks. He's a dog plushie. White as a pair of socks, if I recall correctly. Of course, no guarantee that I do. Yes. I pick a word that reminds me of another word, and that makes me remember where it is. There might be a slate around here that has more details. Maybe look around for those? No, but I'll know it when I see it. I think. Now, where was I?
Look, I know that you're running out of shelf space, but you really shouldn't put things on the hearth. There's a whole box of paper towels here for no reason. And don't get me started on the stuff in the cook pit.
Well, I don't put it there on purpose. I'm in the living room, and I need some place to put things, and it sort of happens. Also, I was trying to keep round things together. Round circle, round things. And Sox's helmet is round. I have a whole system based on word association.
It's no wonder you're always losing your things.
Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know.
So, tell me about your kids. The ones at the orphanage.
I love them, but they can be difficult. There's this one boy, Rumarin, who won't stop misbehaving.
He sounds like a handful.
I need about 10 more hands and a cargo ship for that one.
I see.
Careful, don't knock over the vase. You keep too many notes. It's confusing.
It makes sense to me.
It just looks like word spaghetti. Like, why does this say keycard? Rock thrown at my face.
Duck.
Huh?
When someone throws a rock at you, you duck. I keep my keycard under it, in the sink. And sinks make me think of sinking. That's what happens to forgotten memories. They sink into the depths of your brain.
Pachinon, that's a terrible system.
What's this thing?
It's a seed accelerator. It will help you grow your plants. We have one at the orphanage.
You mean like spies?
No, I mean like green things that grow out of the ground.
Ah, yes. Envies. They're green with.
The Great Serpent is always with us, at work and at home.
Just a reminder, I'll be over tomorrow to help organize your things. The trash goes into the bin, but the clutter we can place on the shelves. We'll get everything sorted and just how you like it. Love you and see you soon. You'll never guess what I found. It's a music box.
Oh, that old thing? It probably doesn't even work anymore.
Well, that's because you never sing to it.
Pardon?
You have to train this kind of box. You fill it with a song, and it will remember the melody and play it back to you.
Oh, I don't know. Are you sure that's how it works?
Lost, alone, amidst the dreams, whispers, a voice sings for our trapped world, unheard.
That's a very catchy song. Hard to forget. Like an earworm.
Worms in your ears would be hard to forget.
I'm just saying. If I heard it, I would remember this day. Remember us. So would you, I think.
Well, I plan on sticking around for a while, but okay, deal. If something were to happen and we forget each other, we'll play this song to remember.
Deal. Oh, what do you have there? A music box? is that? A music box? I don't remember owning that. I wonder if it even works. Would you mind? I'm not very good with these things, but hopefully it still has a little bit of song inside. This song, I can't. I remember now. This song. It's the one my granddaughter used to sing. She used to help me around the house, doing chores, tidying up, and then the accident happened. And I haven't seen her since. I know you mean well, but I can't keep doing this. The more I cling to the idea she's still alive, the harder it gets. If you don't mind, I have a favor to ask. Keep the music box with you. The song, it carries too many memories. And with it, a pain I wish to forget. Yes, and it's my choice. If you have mercy, let me live with it. Thank you. You need not do anything special with it. But I can't bear the sight of it. Now, if you'll kindly leave, I must get back to my things. Thank you for your help, but I would like to be alone now.
Must serve.
The guards overheard my neighbor forsaking the Great Serpent. What a fool. I have not seen him in days.
I can be a bit talkative, manic even. Apologies in advance. So, how did it go with Reigen? Sadly, That's the way of things at the moment. These days, it's hard to account for who's missing and who's gone. But the difference hardly matters. Loss is loss, no matter the form. In any case, thank you for doing this for me. I'm sure your visit helped him, if only for a moment. If you don't mind, can you come back in a day or two? I will have more work for you then. I most certainly will. Tazra's problems are many, but its character continues to shine through in people like yourself. Regardless, even if our paths do not cross again, Jinan bless you for your assistance.
Yes?
Say something if you see things worth investigating. You'll get there in no time. Such a rat! No indications that there is anyone else around, but we should still be cautious. Clearly, this was occupied at one time. Now, though, we seem to be all alone.
shipments on the tracking device brought me to what looks like a supply depot. Lucky for me, it doesn't seem as if anyone's home. Hello? Hello? Okay, looks clear. Anyway, the main entrance was locked, but I managed to sneak my way into a vent area and into what looks like a security office. But there's too many crates and some have been emptied out. I need to override the computer, look at the manifest, and ping the tracking device I placed on the crates. I wonder if I can even hack into the security system and identify their exact locations.
is an active industrial site. It would be advisable to wear a hard hat.
I found the shipment! Along with, countless others. This is bad. Real bad. But it begs the question, who are these for? And who's helping them? Wait, what was that?
We should not assume there is anything valuable stored here, but it is still worth checking. Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what I'm here for you, should you need me. A good team always shares the load. We will speak again soon, I hope. You cannot beat me!
Bring it!
Realize it is still hard to bear.
Already.
Die today. Take what you must. Leave the rest for the scavengers. Are you the guy? I cannot wait to kill you.
Another victory! Well earned.
You might wish to lighten your load. One is less likely to survive an ambush when one is weighed down with whatever all that is. Ah, a face I know. What have you got for me? A shame that there is not more to discuss.
Find the intruder! Block them from the control room!
Nothing there now. Someone or something will clean up whatever's left behind.
Run from me, you.
I do not wish to judge, but I doubt you truly need to be carried. In all of that?
Please do not interfere with my tasks.
That removes any advantage they hope to gain by keeping us in the dark. Extra ammunition is always welcome if they have any.
I'll ask you again. Who else knows? No one! My superiors don't even believe there's missing shipments! And why is that? I don't know! They were all signed off by someone higher up!
If they knew that much, it's only a matter of time before they find out about my boss.
And what of it? If you are using this as a pretense to end our agreement...
My boss has no intention of doing that.
We will need assurances in person. We will send a message through an encrypted slate. The coordinates to Gendar's rest will be there.
I'll let them know. And what of this one? He's seen my face.
He's given us everything we need. Turn him to dust.
Take your best shot.
I'm glad it is in your hands.
You can't hope to win.
Curse you.
You cannot beat me. Think you can hide?
We have scared them off, it seems. be something in all of that you can afford to let go of. Profit is never necessarily the aim, but if there is something worth taking... might disagree. Credit for your thoughts, as they say. Did you need me to carry something for you? Until our next talk. Would prefer that we both remain light on our feet. You never know what could happen. Hello, excellent to see you. Need to see what I'm carrying? If I can take a few things, I will. I am here if... You need me.